Hey guys, today we'll be talking about why millennials are struggling to buy homes every year as the expenses are going up, especially the prices too. Let's see. So here I came up with a bunch of solutions why the problems that we're facing, basically not solutions, why I'm saying sorry. I'm trying to say like why people are struggling to buy home nowadays. I came a bunch of lists. Um, Especially like parents can't afford to buy a car, so you're sharing a car with your parents, can't afford another car or selling a car, which is you're buying an RV to live to save money. It could be that way of your living condition, depending on everyone's. Um, you have student loan debt to pay probably. Maybe you're graduating college at the later time, like a late year, that's holding you back to save up to buy a home too. Or you're living with a family where you can't afford rent, struggling with highest paid job hunting due to work experience. So maybe you're struggling finding a job because your experience is not good, is not enough effort where you need to get at least 8 years or 12 years more experience. Manager wants you to meet the expectations. They want to hire people that can do the job well and perform well. And that's the life of it, the living, especially if we're all making about like an hour wage, which sucks nowadays. Yeah. Or you want to do prepare yourself with the 401k investment. The more you put in, the more money you're gonna get out of it when you retire. Because the less money you put effort, when you become 67 years old, it becomes more challenging because you're trying to pay off your rent. But then you realize I need money for groceries. So where's that money going to come from? So that happens where some people at age 67 they want to retire, right? But they can't because they still need to work to make that money to reach that level to survive in California, especially nowadays, which is crazy. The cost of living, utility bills, grocery, insurance, and medical expenses, you gotta think about that too, right? Um, it could be like a delay in marriage where you're getting married and then you have to figure out your life out. You gotta save the money, and then it's like maybe you don't want to get married, and that becomes a problem because when you're on your own, you tend to struggle more because I learned that. Well, I wouldn't say struggle more. It just depends on you and how much you budget better. I would say it's the way how you budget and kind of like watch out on your expenses. I would say the best thing to do in the key terms is save your receipts. That way you know how much you're spending and how to budget better, right? Yeah. Some rather travel than owning home. So I could say that some people that have money and they saved up, they're more into traveling than buying a home, right? There's people that love to travel a lot. So they use that money to travel instead of buying a home, right? That becomes a situation too. Maybe you're trying to own an apartment and try to budget better or try to save before buying a home. That could be a solution. We all tend to struggle somewhere to make that income to buy a house. If you have a disability or senior, there's resources for you. If you do have a disability or you're a senior, you're lucky because you're being safe. There's this place called Department of DPSS. It's called Department of Social Services. They have some criteria. They look at your family income, how much you make. Those criteria will evaluate how much you can get resources from them depending on your house living condition. You tell them what you need. Do you need mental health resources? What kind of resources do you need, right? There's also like food banks, like where you get free food if you're homeless. Yeah. So yeah. Um, and it's based on the factors too. So I know that based on food stamps, you cannot make $1,000 or more in your salary if you're working because your food stamps will get cut. You cannot make over 1K. That's what I was told. So yeah. Um, People maybe don't know how to invest because it requires algorithms and math calculations. That's where investment, I know I was told that investing is a good way to make money to buy a home, but they will tax you and you lose money, you're gonna have to pay out of pocket. And that's a big struggle right there too. So there's pros and cons, investment. I feel like investments are good, but in my key terms, I feel like I don't know. It's like how I picture it. It's like, okay, you want to invest into buy a home really quick, but then it's like you have to pay your taxes, right? So that's a struggle right there. I feel like, okay, this is, believe me, or maybe it's not true. Some people have different opposite opinion, but I feel like education, going to college was a trick or scam to get people at a young age in debt. We all, though reality, you make good money, but in reality, it becomes competitive finding a job with good paid salary, right? Knowing that our that only hour wage is not what we think in life it is. Some lucky and some are not in the world and finding high paid jobs, you know. Finding a job is hard because interview manager wants to pick the perfect candidates and skills that match their need, fulfill the requirements, handle the job well, and build success for company expectation, going above and beyond in their job duty, you know. So yeah. The high interest rates on your credit cards. Let's talk about credit cards. Credit card, oh God, these are really bad. It's a bad boy credit cards. Credit cards are gonna kill you. You do not want to use credit card. Basically, we were put to apply for credit card, right? To borrow money, to loan a car, to loan a house, right? But credit cards will eat you up no matter what. I don't recommend using credit cards if you're still in a loan debt or any other debt. I don't recommend it. It puts you more in debt. Or some people are dealing with court issues related to paying the fine or fees or being sued for something. That's a situation of living conditions too. If you're going to court and you're dealing with some kind of like money that you borrow from Bank of America and they're trying to sue you. That's for example. I don't recommend borrowing money from Bank of America because what I know is that they're gonna want you to pay the money back because if you don't pay it back, they're gonna write you up and sue you for court. And then you gotta have to go to a court trial and get a lawyer and fight this problem, this case, especially, you know. So yeah. American are the living toughest market out there right now. It's continued inflation. It never stops growing each day or yearly. We get taxed too much. You know, people are spending more money, less chance of saving due to emergency fund, groceries, shopping errands, running high price of food and sanitary, right? So these are problems that we're facing. I would say when I go grocery shopping, I'm spending about like $80 or more because the price is going up now, like double that price. And especially fast food restaurants, I believe there's like 25 now, and then they charge 10 cents for a fee paper bag. That's what I was told on the news. Yeah. People are eating out more in restaurants than cooking at home. That becomes a problem because you know I get that we all get tired from work, but you know, we always work our ass off no matter what. Like we always keep working and working. It's like we don't have budget budgets. Like we tend to crave for food, we crave for dessert. It makes us want to go out on the weekends to go eat, you know, and spending money on coffee. Like think about it. You're spending $5 a cup on coffee, right, in Starbucks. And then you're going to work for 5 days. Five times five, that's like $25 right there. A cup of coffee when you could buy like a one um huge coffee container, like you know, to mix coffee at home, make it your own, right? You can save money by going grocery store, you know. Especially beauty hygiene products are is a problem for people because I think that we're buying money, using money to buy face cleanser, shampoo, um, what's it called? Moisturizer. There you go for lotions. Or you want to do plastic surgery, whatever you want to do with your life, that's your life, you know. So that's what's going out there. Millennials are struggling buying homes. So and I did some research. It says that financial difficulties millennials have more debt and lower net worth than their parents at the same age. They may also have high student loan debt. And this is a true study because now in this generation, it's like everyone wants to buy their property, their home, or maybe rent a property one day, right? But we're all struggling to into that generation. I feel like the living condition doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what's going on with the world. We don't know. We thought that during the pandemic things would shift the way it did, but it didn't, right? So things are going up. And then, you know, when you look at the pandemic way back, the prices were okay, but now the prices are more going insane. It's more increasing more. Especially you have people moving out of state, they're going to Texas now because they find out that the houses are cheaper there, or going Minnesota, out of state, you know, that happens too, you know. Millennials have been hit hard financially. So basically our age as a teenager, age 20 to 30 years old, we've been hit hard really badly because we can't afford anything because we just barely graduated college. And we thought that reality in college is like we have a degree that makes good money, but it's not the true fact. I feel like I think that education had not taught us better to invest. They didn't teach us that. We were not giving any good advice to our counselors, especially, you know. We were falling into where a category where we want to study the study we want in our major, right? Like you want to be computer science, you want to do film productions, or you want to be a nurse, right? Or medical, whatever you want to study, you know, right? That's where we were not taught, you know, how to like use our decisions more wisely and build that skills and curriculum, you know, especially. And I was told that people that are in healthcare, they make good money. It's true because if you're a doctor, you make more. If you're a nurse, you do make good money. Medical assistants, you know. I wish I knew that because I didn't know. but I was major in marketing and like my major was really competitive hard to get a job. I'm not gonna lie about that. I've been trying to do interviews, been applying for jobs. I'm just been struggling. So I went to a different field right now, working in the healthcare field. So hopefully I'll find some a path in the life where it connects with me, where I want to do later on to make good money, right? And try to survive. That's like everyone, their goals is basically trying to survive, especially life is really hard right now. And there's people that are homeless, it's sad. Yeah. Yeah, and basic Generation C, this is where we tend to struggle with, and then where our mental health starts to be more depressed. We're kind of tired of our family bonding, like you want your own personal space, your private space, or you're trying to date a relationship and try to get out and save up money. Maybe you're dating, you want like a husband or a wife, that's up to you, whatever you want to do. Yeah. So yeah, millennials are basically are people, it's crazy and it's sad, true. I think that it's impossible for us to buy a house no matter what you're going through. It's gonna be a long time frame to save up to buy a house. It takes time, and some houses are $1 million already. It's crazy how the price is going up, depending on the location in California. If you're living in Los Angeles, you know what to expect. The traffic is horrible, inflation is going to keep going. I don't think that if people can't afford to live in California, my advice is to move out of state. That's what people are doing now because, it's crazy what California does to us. So this is the whole list. I came with a bunch of ideas about inflation, why we're struggling buying homes. Hopefully you guys learned something. There's more lists to that, I'm pretty sure. But this is the best thought. I put it in thought and write it through like the list of the inflation that what's happening to us and like the expenses. You know, um, look, definitely save your receipts. It's the best advice. You'll see how much you're spending, and you'll see how much you're spending maybe on Netflix, maybe like $10 or $20, depending on the plan. Maybe you want to cancel that and lower that, or maybe your gym membership too that actually is more expensive, like 26, I believe in now in gym membership. Maybe correct me or not, maybe it could be that your gym membership is expensive. Maybe you could find like a cheaper way to work out, maybe buy like a equipment, save up, maybe buy like a treadmill machine or run in your house, I guess. That's smart and save you money instead of paying monthly, when you could buy like a whole treadmill machine for like a couple $100 bills or 500 around that range. You can find something on Amazon, I'm pretty sure that's good quality that could make you work out, and then you could save money for your gym memberships too, especially. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna end it really short, and that's pretty much I just want to talk about inflation. Yeah. All right. Bye bye.